All right, friends. So in today's episode, all focused on creating great content that's going to sell, convert, do mo for your business. We're going to talk about introductions, which I know you're like, that's really boring, but hear me out. Being able to craft a great introduction, no matter the platform, no matter the type of content, being able to create a great introduction sets your content up for success, sets your reader or listener up for conversion, and ultimately serves your business, serves your mission, and serves your person so much better. So listen in for this format and how to write great introductions, whether you are giving podcast intro, blog intro, social media intro, or even your YouTube introductions. This translates across all forms of content. So be prepared to take notes, and this will really help your content convert better. All right, let's get into it. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing. Do you want to grow your business with sustainable traffic sources? Have you heard about the power of search engine optimization and you want to take advantage of it to get more traffic, more eyeballs on your business? But when it comes down to it, does SEO feel complicated and hard to implement? Are you tired of wondering what in the heck to do with your website to get more traffic and more leads knocking on your door? What if I could tell you that there was a simple, proven system for using SEO, blogging, and copywriting to get leads from your website, and not just any leads, high converting leads. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, wife, mama, copywriter, SEO strategist, and barrel racer. And for the last 8 years, I've been figuring out what works and what doesn't work in the world of online marketing to get organic traffic. And now I'm here to share all the things I'm learning in the trenches of SEO, copywriting, and content marketing. How does 300%, 500%, or even 12,000% more traffic in a year sound? What could your business do with that kind of traffic increase? How many more people could you help? So listen in and prepare to take notes. I'm about to drop simple, actionable SEO marketing and copywriting tips, all with a heavy dose of Jesus-loving encouragement. Let's get you more traffic and more leads so you can help more people with your God-given gifts. So listen, as a business owner, creating content to market your product or service is part of life. And whether you are in a position to hire out all of your content creation or you're creating all of your own content yourself from scratch, you need to know what makes a great introduction and how to craft a great introduction. Because BT dubs, if you're hiring somebody to create your content for you and they don't know how to craft a great introduction, then you need to do something else, or at least train them, send them this podcast, okay? Because your introduction to your content is what determines the success of that content. Because if you can't get somebody engaged in the content, then they're definitely not going to buy from the content. And that's the goal of content marketing, right? Is to warm up sales and create sales and nurture leads, right? So we have to create a fantastic introduction. Now, granted, different platforms, you need different lengths of content. And so on different platforms, different lengths of introductions are going to work better, right? Like you cannot have a 30-second introduction on a 1-minute reel. Like you got to get to the rat killing, right? But in my world and my brain, an introduction includes a hook and hey, this is what you're going to learn. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So I had one of my very best friends in the whole world work for me in creating content, both for me and for clients. She worked for me for several years. And just this last summer, she found like the unicorn job that could pay her way more than I could. And so she transitioned out of working for me and into a new job. I still miss her, still cry. It's fine. We still blow up each other's phones all day, every day. It's fine. Anyway, but when she worked for me, she was terrible at writing introductions. She knew it. I knew it. We laughed about it. Whereas I could just like write an introduction in 2.5 seconds, and I could never come up with the words for the conclusion. And so I would write the introduction and she would write the conclusion pretty much no matter what it was. So I'm going to walk you through the anatomy of a great introduction, okay? Some of this is going to be from an SEO perspective, and some of it's going to be for the purpose of engaging your audience and keeping them interested. Now, when you're thinking of an introduction, visually, I want you to think of your introduction like a funnel, not in a sales funnel way, just like in the shape of a funnel. Like if it were a triangle, the fat part of the triangle would be on the top and the skinny part of the triangle would be on the bottom. Okay. Okay. That's what your introduction would look like if it were visual. Okay. The whole point of an introduction is to draw in your audience. We want to hook them, get their attention, right? And depending on the platform is going to determine, how you're going to structure a hook. But your introduction, you want to draw them in. You want to paint a picture of where you are going to take your audience, okay? And you want to make it relatable, okay? Which BT dubs, you should not be creating content around something you don't actually know. Okay. I digress. But when you can take all of these elements by drawing somebody in, painting a picture of where you're going to take them and making it relatable, throw in some humor or some, oh my goodness, I had this issue before, but I solved it here. You draw people in, you humanize your content, and you automatically engage them. Okay. Now, another element of a great introduction is you need to tell people where you are going to take them. So you are essentially, in your introduction, you're going to tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them where you are going to take them on this journey. So here's some examples. If you struggle to write a great introduction to hook your audience, to keep people engaged on your blogs, follow this 5-step formula to write a great introduction that will translate across any content using this proven blah, 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 blah method, blah, 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 right? You see where this is going. You want to briefly, inside of your introduction, tell the people how you are going to get them there. Now, sometimes this fits, sometimes it doesn't. You don't have to be like, in this 5 simple steps, if it's not actually 5 simple steps, right? But you want to tell them how you're going to get them there. Just make it easy on their brains, okay? And then your thesis statement should fit somewhere in your introduction. BT dubs, if you don't have a thesis statement, a say one stinking thing for every piece of content that you create, you're doing it wrong. And inside of my course and group coaching framework, Simple SEO Framework and Group Coaching, I walk you through in detail how to create a great blog post that's actually going to get seen and drive sales. And your thesis statement, writing your thesis statement at the beginning of your content creation process is absolutely crucial, because if you don't know where you're taking people, then they're absolutely going to get lost when you're going there, right? You're going to lose them, okay? So you have to have your thesis statement somewhere in your introduction, or say one stinking thing, the one thing that they are going to learn, the main takeaway, all the same thing, okay? And then a bonus SEO tip here for your introduction is you need to have your keyword focus phrase in the first sentence. Now, pals, this shouldn't be hard, right? If you have chosen an authentic, good fit keyword, then it's going to be easy to say that keyword in the first sentence of your blog, because that's what you're actually talking about, right? If you're struggling to do keyword research, the easy way how to understand keyword research tools, I want you to grab my keyword research kickstart. It's a steal of a deal, and it walks you through how to use Ubersuggest, my favorite keyword research tool. And it walks you through everything you need to do and everything you don't need to do, so that you don't get lost in the in the rabbit hole of keyword research, and you don't waste your time using aspects of the tool that you don't need to use. So I'm going to walk you through this again, just so we know, so we remember. Your great introduction is going to set the tone for your blog or whatever piece of content you're creating. It's going to draw people in. It's going to help engage them and keep them moving through the content, ultimately creating connection and sales and helping you serve your people better. So here are the elements of a great introduction, okay? If you were to think of it visually, it would look like a funnel, an upside down triangle with the fat part on the top and the skinny part on the bottom. You want to draw them in, make it interesting. And then I want you to paint them a picture of where you are going to take them. Make it relatable. throw in some fun personality, some aspects of your experience that led you to learn this lesson, okay? And then you need to tell them where you're going to take them. An introduction is essentially telling somebody what you're going to tell them in the body of the content, okay? If it fits, I want you to briefly tell them how you're going to get them there, okay? And your thesis statement should absolutely fit somewhere in your introduction. This is non-negotiable. And bonus SEO tip, your keyword focus phrase should be in the first sentence always. All right, y'all. Happy to be back on a more normal schedule and creating content in a better flow for y'all. So we'll have more podcasts for you, more emails, all of the things next week as well. All right, y'all. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.